Before I start this video, I want to apologize for the 2-week gap between this upload and my last upload. There's actually a video I'm working on where I explain a bit where I've been and what's happened, but since it isn't out yet and it will be soon, I want to quickly say that I had computer issues, I lost all my work, my programs, my files, and I had to completely reinstall everything, so I've been delayed. But now I'm back working on new things, and this is one of the new projects that I'm working on. So without further ado, I'll go ahead and get started. EOMM. Has it finally been disproved? Recently, Marvel Rivals has made their own statement explaining their game system for earning points, competitive matchmaking, and their reasonings for why you can't team up in full stacks and ranked anymore, and it was meant to finally break the EOMM allegations that the game's been plagued with since release. I think EOMM first started being quote-unquote noticed when people started noticing bots in their matchmaking. Particularly after some rough losses, players noticed that they'd get tossed into a bot game with other players, and this led many to believe that the reasoning for was to keep the player engaged. Too many losses without getting a win and they're sure to quit, so toss in a free one to keep them going. I won't get deep into what I think the bot matches are really for, because after all, according to the devs, there is no EOMM, at least definitely for rank. However, this has not been received with 100% acceptance. A lot of players still firmly believe that EOMM exists and that this is the devs not being honest about it, and want to keep players in their good graces to avoid the declining population. They say that the reason they won't be honest is because what company is honest about the subtle ways that they keep you hooked on a product, like binging a show or junk food, gambling, etc. But there are a group of other players that think it's definitely not real, and everybody else is just coping. These players are your regular top 500 streamers, content creators, tourney players, particularly the content creators like Flats and Boger. Both have gone on record multiple times stating that they firmly believe that EOMM allegations are nothing more than cope coming from people who aren't willing to take accountability for their own gameplay and lackluster performances. And honestly, maybe they've got a point. After all, Flats showed his own example of your usual EOMM demons blame player who posted a viral clip of their supports being stupid when he himself played like shit, and when Flats reviewed his other games, he saw that he was kind of a shitty player. There's a lot of cases like this, and the response for a lot of people is, well, it's cherry-picked. My games are actually thrown by bad players after I win too many games. And to be clear, we're talking about EOMM, not the concept of bad matchmaking. We're specifically talking about this as if EOMM is intentionally giving you terrible players because it wants you to lose, wants you to stop climbing, and wants to keep you engaged in the game. So a lot of people in response might say something like, well, of course the people who are always top 500 don't think EOMM exists. But Boger made a counterpoint to this. If I take a top 500 eternity player and put him on a fresh new account, and he starts in bronze, he's gonna win 50 games in a row and end up back in bronze before you know it. But if EOMM existed, wouldn't it give him the worst teammates possible to ensure he loses? It can't have favoritism because it doesn't know it's actually a top 500 player. It only sees a fresh account. He went on to say something along the lines of, the reason that you think EOMM exists is because you don't want to put in the time and effort into climbing, you take no accountability, and you don't improve. Flats has said similar things about people who complain about EOMM stopping them from achieving a rank that they deserve, whereas players of that rank seem to get there no problem. I thought that this has been a really interesting debate lately, and it got me thinking, hey, I've hit Grandmaster twice in 2 seasons, and now I'm struggling to get back. Maybe I'm being affected by this EOMM system, or complain about bad matchmaking, complain about terrible players, rage, crash out, and I was one of those people who started to think, maybe EOMM does exist. So many videos of people using new accounts to prove that EOMM grants you big wins for engagement and losses if you engage too much. So many videos attempting to prove that it's real and criticize rivals for not having any competitive integrity, and that the reset helps with that. Always push you back down to the start, back over, and worse due to EOMM. I started falling into this pipeline. I started blaming teammates. I stopped looking at my gameplay and started analyzing what everybody else was doing. I never crashed out in VC, but I did do something worse. I crashed out on my best friend and duo because I wasn't willing to jump on mic and crash out on the strangers. So I snapped and treated my duo like shit even though they're a great player and they only want to play with me because they have fun playing with me. It left me feeling pretty scummy and pretty terrible. I got frustrated because getting to Grandmaster wasn't as easy as it used to be. And I got mad because I didn't want to accept that maybe I was never as good as I thought I was in the first place. And it's hard to find exactly what I'm supposed to be doing or what being good actually looks like. If you climb too fast, then competitive is too easy and you're boosted. But if you climb too slow, then the matchmaking is broken and playing lots of hours guarantees that you climb, so you're boosted. Am I boosted? What does it take to earn my rank now and show that I'm as good as my rank says I am? If it isn't too few hours or too many hours, what's the balance? What's the sweet spot? Is it EOMM affecting everybody's perceptions, or are we all cooking each other's brains with the endless theories and speculations? So what's the point of me saying all this? Well, I started thinking, what if Boger and Flats are actually right? What if there is no EOMM, and deep down, all that really matters is you, your performance, your drive, your desire to be a higher rank, to grow, to be humble, and tell yourself, I could do better. Maybe you don't deserve GM now, but you deserve it later when you earn it after a struggle. Maybe all the naysayers are wrong. Those who talk you down for climbing too fast are pissed because it took them longer, and those who talk you down for climbing too slow feel superior because it took them less time. Maybe none of that matters. Maybe it really just depends on, did you make it? What did you learn? Are you a better player than you were before? Can you be consistent? As a former EOMM believer and toxic player, I want to be better. So I'm going on a journey. At the moment, I'm currently Platinum 1, so I've got a long way to go. But I'd like to hit Grandmaster again. That's only the first milestone though. The real milestone is Celestial. And the overall goal, which could take a long time, is Eternity. I don't want to prove anything to anyone. I only want to prove to myself that I am a capable player that can put in the time and effort into not only grinding, but learning, growing, getting coached, and trying to be the best version of myself for this game as I can be. That means no more rage quitting, no crashing out, no terrorizing my poor duo, no flaming in match chat, no stopping the grind or the learning experience, and no more putting off the game until I get a winning streak. It's time to play it properly. If I want to be better, I gotta put in the effort. The only difference between me and somebody like Flats or Boger is that I play way less than them. Since I don't play the game for a living, I can't really justify spending 8 or 10 hours on it, but I think 4 to 5 will be a reasonable time frame. From this day forward, every day that I can, I'm gonna jump online on Twitch, start my grind. I'm going to dedicate 4 to 5 hours of my time to grinding competitive, adjusting my attitude, and trying to learn as much as possible to grow as a player and earn a new, higher rank. I'm not out to prove how good I am, but I am hoping that with enough time and effort, I can prove that EOMM doesn't exist. And a player like me that is struggling and blaming the system can climb if they have a readjustment and humility and some drive. I do hope that you'll join me so we can make this journey together. Maybe you can teach me something valuable or offer support when it gets rough. Either way, I'm doing this and I'm seeing it through. There is no deadline. There is no time limit. I'm just going to put my best foot forward and we'll see what happens. I hope to see you there.